Good day guys! Today nandito tayo sa Toyota Santa Rosa, Laguna para i-review yung Toyota Hilux GRS na matagal ko na ding hinahanap. Buti naman meron tayong nakitang display unit dito sa Toyota Santa Rosa. So before I continue, gusto kong magpasalamat kay Jerome Gonzalez who allowed me to review this GRS. Nandito yung contact number niya. So, kung gusto nyo mag-inquire, tawagan nyo lang siya. I'm really excited to showcase this to you guys since ito ang pinagpilian ko bago ko binili yung aking Ranger Raptor. May special spot sa akin itong Hilux GRS since for me, meron siyang ibang dating in terms of its design. Especially pag nakakita ako ng nakamodify na ganitong model dito sa daan. Anyway, ang selling price niya is 2.192 million. So, is it worth it given its aspect and features as a truck? And is it really a Raptor competitor? I'll tackle that at the end of the video. So in this video, I'll share with you my personal opinion about this truck. Okay, let's start with the exterior features. Yung front fascia niya really exudes sportiness rather than the super masculine look which the Raptor has. So from all the Hilux models, ito ang may pinakaibang itsura. Kasi very prominent yung grille niya with the Toyota badge and GR Sport logo. I really like the front end. Ang hindi ko lang masyadong gusto, yung malaking overhang niya sa front. Especially if you look at the side, makikita mo yung mahabang overhang which is similar dun sa Toyota Fortuner. Let's move on sa headlamp niya. Yung headlamp niya is multi-reflector headlamps with DRL. Pero hindi siya adaptive. Yung fog lights naman niya is LED. As you can see, it's neatly integrated with fender flare with the open vent design. So this truck really looks wide in person. Just like the Mitsubishi Triton, but not as wide as the Ranger Raptor. At pagdating sa lower portion ng bumper niya, meron siyang silver garnish that complements the front end design. Napansin ko din, meron din siyang red skid plate. Hindi yan standard, nilagay lang yan ng kasa as an accessory. At pagdating sa roof niya, color black na siya. At punta naman tayo sa medyo controversial na aspect ng design nito which is the fender flare. Actually, some people mas preferred nila yung fender flare ng Conquest. But for me, mas gusto ko itong nasa GRS kasi nagbibigay siya ng ibang character sa vehicle. Hindi mo lang siya masyadong maa-appreciate kasi yung wheelset na kakabit sa kanya is maliit. Speaking of wheelset, ang wheelset niya is size 17, wrapped with 265/65 R17 Dunlop Grand Trek. Nakalagay na all-terrain siya, but for me, para siyang HT because of its tread pattern. Pagdating naman sa suspension, the GRS is equipped with KYB monotube shocks. It improves the handling as well as the ride comfort of the vehicle. Yung side mirror niya is blackout. Nandyan yung 360-degree camera, saka yung paddle lamp. And in this unit, meron siyang window visor, pero hindi siya standard. Accessory lang yan na nilagay ng kasa. Pagdating naman sa stepboard, ordinary lang siya just like the other Hilux. Meron din siyang black garnish, pero hindi yan standard. Accessory lang yan. Ang kagandahan nito, just like the Conquest, naka-disc brake na rin yung sa rear brakes niya. And before I forget, yung brake calipers niya is GR specific na merong GR badging. And just like the new Conquest, yung upper and lower control arms niya are a lot longer to accommodate wider flares. Yung shock mount niya sa likod ay nakalagay na sa labas ng chassis. Unlike dun sa previous model na nasa loob pa ng chassis. So it helps in cornering. Yun lang, hindi nila nilagay ng cover itong ilalim. So it looks bare. So sa side, wala namang naiba compared with the other Hilux variants. Ang naiiba lang yung black trimming saka yung wider flares na dinikit lang. Ang pagkakaiba nito sa Raptor is yung Raptor kasi yung body niya is a lot wider. And then nilagyan pa ng fender flares to complement the overall look. Dito kasi ang nagpalapad lang talaga is yung fender flares niya. At dito naman sa likod na portion nandito yung fashion bar, which look very different from the other Hilux models. Some people don't like it, pero sa akin maganda siyang tingnan. It adds to the sportiness of the truck, mukha siyang spoiler. Pagdating naman sa likod, it's the usual Hilux na rear end, wala naman na bago. Pero yung bumper niya is black out, as well as yung mga badges niya. While yung taillights niya is LED na rin. Pero yung signal light tsaka yung reverse light is halogen pa rin. At dito sa part na to, dito nakalagay yung sensor niya para dun sa rear cross traffic alert. So pagdating sa rear end design, okay pa din siya. Kahit na wala masyadong nagbago compared with the other Hilux variants. Pagdating sa suspension, just like dun sa harap, naka KYB monotube shock absorber siya. Pero hindi siya naka coil spring, naka leaf spring pa rin siya. So it can still carry heavier loads unlike dun sa Ranger Raptor. But it will sacrifice yung ride comfort. Napansin ko din, naka shark fin antenna na rin siya. And pagdating sa track bed, meron na din siyang tailgate assist. So magaan siyang isarado at buksan. Unlike doon sa Triton na sobrang bigat niya. So ang laking bagay talaga nito. At dito sa rear, it's pretty much straightforward. Wala din siya nung parang power supply socket dito sa track bed. But marami naman siyang anchoring points dito sa loob. At itong unit na naka-display dito sa kasa, meron na siyang roller lid na kasama. Pero you have to pay for it. As you can see, may nasasakop na space sa mechanism niya. Let's move on naman sa interior niya. Ang napansin ko talaga dito, yung interior niya mostly made of plastics. Ang may soft padding lang dito yung mismong armrest niya. Pero yung mismong sides, plastic lahat. At nandito naman yung switches niya, which is in good quality naman. And very straightforward yung use. At nandito naman sa baba yung speaker niya at saka yung bottle holder. Napansin ko lang hindi malapad yung stepboard niya. So you have to be careful going in and out. At saka yung pagbaba mo, medyo ingat ka kasi baka sumala yung paa mo, mahulog ka. At dito sa baba ng dashboard area, meron siyang cup holder dito na merong dual purpose. Pwede mo siyang gawing drink holder at the same time, pwede mo rin siyang lagayan ng gamit. At dito sa lower portion, nandito yung switch ng parking sensor niya, yung button for the 360 cam, and yung switch niya for the blind spot monitoring system. And nandito naman yung bukasan ng fuel cap at saka ng hood. Ang kagandahan nito, naka GR Sport pedal siya, which I actually like. Dito naman sa driver's side, meron siyang 8-way power adjustment. Pero wala siyang lumbar support. At dito naman sa may pintuan, meron siyang step seal na may nakalagay na Hilux. Yung steering niya is tilt and telescopic and at the same time, meron siyang GR branding na kasama. At dito naman sa left ng steering wheel, nandito yung switches for the infotainment system. At dito naman sa right portion is yung controls for the instrument cluster. Ang ayaw ko dito yung positioning ng cruise control switch. Pero adaptive cruise control naman siya. And again, meron siyang GR badging dito sa lower portion ng steering wheel. And perforated leather na rin siya with red center line. At ang kagandahan dito, meron na siyang paddle shifter. So sa lahat ng Hilux variant, siya lang ang meron ito. And yung instrument cluster niya is a combination of digital and analog. So yung analog gauges looks outdated na. Yung headlight naman niya is automatic na rin, which is good news. Pero ang wiper niya is manual pa rin. And as you can see here, auto-dimming na rin yung rear view mirror. And what sets it apart from the other variants is yung design ng seats niya. So it's a combination of suede material and leather material. At yung kanyang seatbelt is color red na rin to match its sporty appeal. At yung head unit niya is an upgrade from the previous model. 9 inches siya with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Ito yung push button switch niya at nandito naman yung switch ng 4x4 system. So you'll see na very old school yung switch niya ng 4x4 system. And for the aircon control, it's dual zone climate control system. At meron dito dalawang 12-volt socket pero walang USB port na Type-C. Nandito naman yung deep lock switch saka yung hill descent control switch. At dito sa lower portion, nandito yung wireless charging pad. And then dito, meron dalawang cup holders which is located dun sa harap ng cambio. And then meron dito siyang parang trim na parang carbon fiber. Hindi ko siya type. Mas gusto ko yung sa Conquest na parang brushed aluminum trim. And meron siyang dual glove box dito sa taas. And then dito sa baba, meron din na ang opening niya is dump naman. At nandito naman yung switch ng power mode at saka eco mode. And then yung kanyang shifter, ito pa rin yung gated na shifter na sa tingin ko masyadong luma na. And then yung handbrake niya is manual. So wala siyang auto hold feature. Dito sa center console merong extra storage space. And then dito sa ilalim ng armrest meron ding storage space na average din naman lang yung size. Okay, check naman natin yung vanity mirror kung meron siya dito. Isang vanity mirror dito sa passenger side pero wala siyang ilaw. Dito sa driver side wala siyang mirror. Meron lang ditong pocket na pwede mong lagyan ng mga cards. Dito sa taas merong lagayan ng sunglass and meron din ditong switch dito sa ilaw. Pero discharge na yung battery kaya hindi siya umiilaw. So to me, yung interior niya lacks the character. Para siyang bland tingnan. Especially yung mga sidings niya. At nawala na rin yung ambient lighting na yung Conquest meron. Mas prefer ko pa rin yung interior ng BT50 at saka yung Triton. And of course yung sa Raptor. At dito naman sa passenger seat, 4-way adjustable siya pero hindi siya automatic na push button. In my view, the interior of the Hilux leans more on the durable side. And in today's standards, kailangan na talagang i-refresh yung design nito. Why? Because yung itsura niya, talagang aging na siya. Even itong handle dito, naka-fix siya. Hindi siya na itatago o hindi siya na pull or up and down. Okay naman yung kanyang headroom. At dito sa baba, meron siyang parang courtesy light, yung kulay red na yan. Okay, check natin yung rear seat. Maganda yung thigh support. Maganda yung angle ng seat. So, okay siyang upuan. But yun nga, yung sidings niya, puro plastic talaga. Mas maganda sana kung niretain nila yung ambient lighting dito katulad na sa Conquest. Yung thigh support niya is actually good. But yung angle ng kanyang backside is medyo naka-upright position, which is common naman sa mga pickup trucks. At dito sa likod ng upuan, meron ditong hook at meron din ditong parang lalagyan ng magazines. Meron siyang aircon vents dito, dalawa. But what is noticeable is wala siyang USB port man lang para sa mga rear passengers. And then dito sa center, meron siyang armrest na may dalawang cup holders. And then dito sa side, may malaking grab handle. And then fixed handle dito sa itaas. Yung rear seat is 60-40 split. And then dito sa ilalim, meron kang compartment. Doon sa kabilang side, meron ding compartment sa ilalim. Pero hindi mo siya maiitaas kasi naiipit nitong 60% portion. So, kailangan itaas mo pareho bago mo mabuksan. At dito nakalagay yung tools at saka yung jack niya. Tinry ko rin itambol itong rear back seat niya. Pero hindi ko siya magawa. I just don't know kung naiitambol talaga ito. Let me know sa mga naka-GRS kung pwede nga itong itumba. Okay, check naman natin yung makina. Ito yung 1JD na 2.8 liter diesel engine ng Toyota. Napansin ko meron siyang hood damper which is a nice feature kasi nakakatulong yan sa paglip ng hood. Yung engine niya produces 224 PS and 550 Newton meters of torque. So dito naman bumawi si Hilux in terms of power output. So sa segment, siya yung may pinakamalakas na engine on paper. Buti nilang may binago sa internals in terms of engine tuning as well as dun sa kanyang suspension system. Unlike dun sa previous GRS na more on the aesthetics lang talaga. Just like the 4JJ3 of Isuzu and 4N15 of Mitsubishi, ito yung top 3 engines in terms of reliability. And the availability of parts is one also of the strong points of this engine. When it comes naman to power, yung 1JD engine is known to be powerful at low RPM, which is really suitable for hauling and carrying heavier loads. When it comes to refinement, it's not one of the most refined engine in its segment. Mas refined pa rin yung engine ng Triton at ng Ranger. But we are talking about reliability dito. Ito talaga ang main advantage ng Toyota. And one of the good things about owning a Toyota is yung after-sale service nila. At kapag nawala na sa warranty, maraming mga mekaniko na alam i-fix itong Toyota. At the same time, yung parts availability is not an issue. At pagdating naman sa transmission niya, 6-speed automatic transmission siya, na common naman sa pickup segment. Okay, let's summarize. Just like what I said before, is the price of 2.192 million justified? For the package you're getting, to me, it's both a yes and a no. Since if the mindset of the person buying this is gagamitin niya ito for long-term use, o yun nga, pang matagalan na gamitan, that price of 2.192 million starts to make sense. Since in the long run, hindi ka bibigyan ng sakit ng ulo nito, and in the long run, it's easy to maintain. But that high asking price is justifiable dun lang sa aspect na yon, yung reliability niya. But if you are a type of person who is more into tech and wants more driving feel, better comfort, better NVH, and an overall comfortable experience, then hindi talaga siya worth it. Kasi this platform has been around for quite some time already. So it really shows na it's already aging. Kumbaga, in the past few years, puro refresh lang siya para makahabol to what the other competitors are offering. Ang result nun, parang pilit yung mga enhancements na nilalagay nila. So parang hindi nagko-coexist properly yung mga improvements na ginawa nila with the original design of the platform. Kaya yung interior niya is really a letdown, to be honest. Iba kasi pag gumawa ka ng bagong model from the ground up. Mas buo yung feeling niya as a product, unlike kung magre-refresh ka ng paulit-ulit. Kaya yung mga refresh model, merong mga aspect na ang feeling mo parang hilaw pa. Meron talaga mga features na napag-iiwanan. Pero syempre, may R&D din silang ginawa dyan para somewhat mag-work with what they have. Yun nga, iba pa rin talaga pagka bagong platform. But I'm not saying this is a bad trap. It's actually a good one. Since maganda rin yung resale value niya at then matibay talaga siya. It just needs a new generation already. So I think yung next generation, which might come next year or in the next 2 years, would be a game changer for Toyota. But if you're eyeing this pickup truck, I'm not here to discourage you. Okay pa rin naman siya. Ang mahalaga is nasunod yung gusto mo. It has a powerful engine, it can carry heavy loads, and a very straightforward user experience. On top of that, you get a trusted brand that can serve you very well. And another topic na gusto kong itackle is it really a competitor of the new Ranger Raptor? Yes, it can be if you wanted to. But if you base it on the specs and the roots of the vehicle, I don't think so. Kasi unang-una yung Hilux talaga is really meant to carry loads or talagang pangkargahan. It's not meant to go on jumps or baha off-roading from the ground up. Putting an aftermarket suspension for me is not enough to be durable in high-speed off-roading. And the fact na naka-lip spring pa siya sa likod, it really means na talagang pangkargahan talaga siya. And when you try to connect it to the Ranger Raptor, The Ranger Raptor has a different chassis than the Wildtrak. It has a reinforced chassis. At the same time, it also has a reinforced suspension components. It has a thicker lower control arm, thicker upper control arm, bigger trailing arm, protected underbody, a watch link and a coil spring setup at the rear, and a different chassis configuration against the Wildtrak to accommodate the springs at the rear. Plus the fact na meron siyang tuned suspension na designed for baha off-roading talaga, which is the Fox Shocks. It shows that it's really designed to be a performance track from the ground up and to tackle different off-road environment, especially high speed. Yes, the Hilux can also do those jump and can also do those high speed off-roading, but not as good and confidence-inspiring just like what the Raptor can do. Kasi ang binabayaran mo sa Raptor is yung confidence na matakel mo yung mga different situations. So when you go over bumps and high-speed jumps, it's really a different feeling. Kumbaga, salong-salo ka ng sasakyan. And because of its reinforced chassis, mas solid yung feeling. And mas durable yung chassis niya for that kind of off-roading. Pero yun nga, sa Pilipinas naman, yung mga Raptor, kalimitan ginagamit din lang sa city driving and light off-roading. Pero maganda na rin na alam mo na merong capability yung sasakyan mo to tackle those different conditions. So as of now, I think ang talagang direct competitor ni Ranger Raptor is yung Tacoma na TRD Pro na available sa US market. While ito namang Hilux GRS, ang feeling ko, ang direct competitor niya, yung Wildtrak X na available sa ibang bansa. So, pareho siya ni GRS na may aftermarket suspension support at the same time, lip spring yung likod. Anyway, to give a comparison between the features of the Toyota Hilux GRS and the Ranger Raptor, since sa Pilipinas, yun ang sinasabi nila na magka-competitor, I will show to you the specs and features ng kanilang sasakyan. Hinighlight ko in yellow yung advantage ng bawat isa. In terms of size, mas malaki ang Raptor. Sa engine naman, 2.8 liter yung Hilux, 2 liter lang yung sa Ranger Raptor. So, advantage ng GRS. In terms of power, mas malakas ang power, 224 yung GRS, 210 lang sa Raptor. Sa torque, 550 Nm si GRS, 500 lang si Raptor. But in terms of transmission, 10-speed automatic transmission si Ranger Raptor. Tapos meron siyang spring at Fox Shocks with watch linkage sa likod. Mas malaki din yung gulong ni Raptor, 285/70/70 na naka-VF Goodrich. Tapos yung headlight ni Raptor is matrix LED with adaptive front lighting system and glare-free auto headlights. Moving forward, si GRS merong hood lift assist, si Raptor wala. But meron namang bedliner power supply si Raptor. Meron namang sports bar si GRS, si Raptor wala. In terms of seat adjustment, yung Raptor may 10-way power assist sa driver and 8-way power assist dun sa passenger. Tapos, mas malaki yung kanyang instrument cluster na 12.4 inches and then electric power steering yung Raptor. Si GRS naka-adaptive cruise control. Si Raptor naka-adaptive cruise control. Meron siyang additional na stop and go function. Pagdating naman sa lane departure, merong lane departure warning and lane centering and keeping aid si Raptor. Meron din siyang blind spot information system with cross traffic alert and braking. Yan yung kusang magbe-brake siya pag may na-sense niya na mayroon kang babanggain. At heto naman ang additional features na meron si Ranger Raptor na wala si GRS. For example, yan, meron siyang powder-coated na die-cast aluminum side steps, meron siyang 230 volts and 12 volt socket dun sa bed, meron siyang metal underbody protection, meron siyang terrain management system with 7 drive modes, meron din siyang windshield mounted USB port, ambient lighting, electric parking brake with auto hold, adjustable speed limiter, adaptive headlights with auto high beam, autonomous emergency braking, dynamic brake support, distance alert, distance indication, trail control, oil life indicator, at saka yung second row, USB port and 230 volt socket. In addition, meron siyang forward collision warning system, evasive steer assist, post-impact braking, driver alert system, reverse brake assist, active park assist, TPMS, auxiliary switches, 12-inch touchscreen display, remote vehicle lock and unlock, remote vehicle start and stop, vehicle locator, vehicle status, full LED interior lights, electronic shifter, saka yung 4A option for 4x4. So yan ang features ng Ranger Raptor na wala sa Toyota GRS. But going back to the Toyota GRS, yung mga features niya, despite na very basic, lahat ng features niya is straightforward usage at alam mo na tatagal talaga. But it's good naman that Toyota is trying itself to fully equip their vehicle. Unlike before na kulang siya sa safety features. Ngayon, in-equip na siya nung Toyota Safety Sense. Actually, may mga tao na gusto yung pagka-old school vibe at saka yung pang straightforward na gamitan. And I respect that. But as of now kasi, yung competitors are giving more features at lower price. So yun ang gripe pag bumili ka ng Toyota Hilux. Medyo napag-iiwanan na siya sa mga modern features. And as a buyer, you may have to lower your expectations about modern tech and overall vibe of this vehicle. And yun nga, just what like I said in my previous vlogs about Toyota vehicles, Toyota is still number 1 in the Philippines. It controls 46% of the market. So if your priority is not really tech features or comfort, then this vehicle is suitable for you. So depende pa rin yan sa tao. So you have to respect what the people value in their vehicle. But if you ask me, ang priority ko talaga is yung safety, yung tech features and comfort, and the driving dynamics that I will truly enjoy. And most especially the comfort that it gives to my family whenever we go on trips. That's why I chose the Ranger Raptor. And yes, the Hilux can beat the Ranger in terms of reliability. Ford's reliability might not be its strongest point, but as long as you maintain it well and be a cautious owner, it will also serve you well. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi in my vlogs, wala talagang perfect car. It's all a matter of buyer's preference. It boils down to buyer's priority and what they value most in a vehicle. So if you're choosing between the Toyota Hilux GRS or Ranger Raptor, I do think they are both great vehicles. They both have strengths and weaknesses. So if you need a trusted brand and straightforward user experience, go for the Hilux. But if you want straight-out performance, refinement, and overall comfort, go for the Ranger. Okay, hanggang dito na lang. I hope I have given you some insights about the Toyota Hilux GRS. And I hope we start to be open-minded when we compare vehicles. And we should accept facts and the good and the bad of each vehicle. Alright, hanggang dito na lang. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see you again in my next vlog. Bye!